Afternoon, people. I like to muck around with different stuff, and there's this guy who's inspired me to have a crack at build my own forge, and after about a week, got it going. I am getting the look from my wife, but hey, when don't you? All right, so I'm having a crack at my first real project, and I've drawn my inspiration from a young guy online. He's only 20 years old, massive achievement, just passed his 1 millionth subscriber, all from blacksmithing. And the skills the guy has, Alec Steele, if you get a chance, check him out because he is something else. And thank you, Alex, for your inspirational stuff. So I'm trying to emulate a copy of a small project that he did, a beginner project, which is to forge a leaf from a piece of half-inch flat bar. I didn't have any half-inch flat bar, so I just used a bit of Rio that I had laying out the back, and that's all I've got. So from now, I've got to go and actually buy some steel, but it is cheap. It's as cheap as chips. So I'll just show you where I am at this current point. I've forged the leaf out, and I just want to bend it into its shape. So this is what we have here. And I've just knocked a few, you can't really see. Don't touch my phone with that because a few lines into it there, you can see a little better. And then I've punched a couple of holes in here very badly, I might add, off center, and now I've squashed them as well. But I've used his method to taper the steel down into about a third of its original size, and then the same on the other end, and bent it around into a hook using my gifted piece of railway line from my mate Greg. He's kindly give me the raw material. It started out like this and ended up like that after a bit of 9-inch grinder action, which is not my favourite tool, but yeah, what do you do? You've got to grind it out, you've got to use a big tool. Okay, so I'll finish this off and I might mount it to a nice piece of old fence paling, and I'll put it up at my front door, and yeah, I'll be wrapped. Okay, so the reason I went and did this project was it was suggested that this was great to start to hone the various skills you need to be able to blacksmith in a efficient manner. But we can see here I obviously need a lot more practice, although I'm happy with how they ended up. They're obviously nowhere near kind of perfect, particularly my finish off as far as the tip of this didn't kind of work out the way I wanted. I wanted it to be like a penny scroll, but it ended up being the wrong way around. The leaf itself, you can see in the middle there, I've tried to emulate a vein, the central vein that runs up the leaf, and I've made a little tool for that, but what's happening is I'm getting the edge of the tool as well as the groove that I've cut in the middle of it, and both are showing up down the middle. And the same with this little one here as well. So not a bad first try. You can see that this top edge isn't uniform. It doesn't flare out like the bottom edge is nice and round. The whole leaf is a little bit thin as well. I wanted it to be a few millimetres, not even a few millimetres, a millimetre or so thicker than the actual stem. But you can get so easily carried away with the striking of the hammer, which is quite fun and very satisfying, that you can go too far very quickly. So, but it has got a nice shape, and as I say, I'll keep trying. I'm going to maybe make 20 or 30 of these, although I tell you what, this took me a while today, maybe 4 hours to do these two, so yeah, have to get better and more efficient with how I do it. What I'm finding is that it's only 5 or 6 degrees outside at the moment, and that the steel is cooling down within 2 or 3 hammer blows. That's not to say that you can't keep working it as it's cooling down, but it's much easier to work the steel when it's actually bright red or almost yellow. Red's starting to get cool. Yeah, very happy so far. That'll do.